Stephen Jobs figures heroically in the history of American entrepreneurship. At the age of 22, he founded a company called Apple Computer and proceeded to grow it into a $2 billion business. In the spring of 1985, he lost a power struggle inside Apple and left the company he had created. He spent the summer considering his next move and resolved to begin again. In September, he started a new computer company with his own money. With characteristic flair, he called it Next Incorporated. In December 1985, in business for just 90 days, Jobs and his 11 employees hold their first retreat. Company retreats like this are the continuation of a tradition Steve established at Apple early on. Watching him in action at these brainstorming sessions is an opportunity to observe him at his lucid best as a company builder and motivator.
Slicing into the future.
His opening remarks reveal his faith in high technology and his idealism, an unusual combination that is part of his uniqueness. In effect, he is planting the seeds of a new corporate culture.
More important than building a product, we are in the process of architecting a company that will hopefully be much more incredible. The total will be much more incredible than the sum of its parts. And the cumulative effort of approximately, 20,000 decisions that we're all going to make over the next 2 years are going to define what our company is. And one of the things that made Apple great was that in the early days, it was built from the heart, not by somebody who came in and said, I know how to build a company. Here's what you do. Dot, 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 dot. It wasn't built that way. It was built from the heart. Now, unfortunately, we didn't always use our heads. And we can do better in many respects because we are wiser and smarter and know more and those kinds of things. But one of the most important things, one of my largest wishes is that we build Next from the heart. And that people that are thinking about coming to work for us or buying our products or who want to sell us things feel that we're doing this because we have a passion about it. We're doing this because we really care about the higher educational process, not because we want to make a buck, not because we just want to do it to do it. There needs to be someone who is sort of the keeper and reiterator of the vision. Because there's just a ton of work to do. And a lot of times, when you have to walk 1,000 miles and you take the first step, it looks like a long ways. And it really helps if there's someone there saying, well, we're one step closer. The goal definitely exists. It's not just a mirage out there. So in 1,001 little and sometimes larger ways, the vision needs to be reiterated. I do that a lot. Our product on the market.
Steve Jobs had built a major company by the time he was 28. According to some, he had even created the personal computer industry. In any event, he was a wealthy man and was acknowledged as a master entrepreneur. What is it that drives him at age 31 to begin all over again? Part of the answer seems to be his need to feel that he is contributing to history.
I felt it the first time when I visited a school. It was like had third and fourth graders classroom one time. And they had a whole classroom full of Apple IIs, and I spent a few hours there, and I saw these third and fourth graders growing up completely different than I grew up because of this machine. And what hit me about it was that here was this machine that very few people designed, about 4 in the case of the Apple II. And then they gave it to some people that didn't know how to design it, but they knew how to make it, to manufacture it. They could make a whole bunch of them. They gave it to some people that didn't know how to design it or manufacture it, but they knew how to distribute it. And they gave it to some people that didn't know how to design it or manufacture it or distribute it, but they knew how to write software for it. And gradually this sort of inverse pyramid grew. And when it finally got into the hands of a lot of people, it blossomed out of this tiny little seed. And it seemed like an incredible amount of leverage. And it all started with just an idea. And here was this idea taken through all of these stages, resulting in a classroom full of kids growing up with some insights and some fundamentally different experiences, which I thought might be very beneficial to their lives because of this germ of an idea a few years ago. And that's an incredible feeling. To know that you had something to do with it, A, and B, to know it can be done. To know that you can plant something in the world and it'll grow and change the world ever so slightly.
Whether Next can be a viable business is something only time will tell. But Steve Jobs' passionate commitment to his vision is clear. And his certainty that it can be achieved and is worth achieving is a conviction to be observed in all successful entrepreneurs.